With The Sopranos, there's so much cultural impact. I feel like The Sopranos legitly started the golden age of television. We're at where we're at today with television
visually
because because of The Sopranos. The Sopranos was highlighting mental illness, attacking gender roles, crime and family, and like heavy issues in family dynamics way before anyone else was. Like when you see shows like Breaking Bad, True Detective, where they're dark and gritty, it started with The Sopranos. I mean, even
the chat you're talking about, the between husband and wife, just to me feels like every show that's massive that's come since then
is doing it.
Even now Succession feels like a version of The Sopranos. I mean, Joe, you can literally sit this one out and win, but I think that unless I give out a bunch of bonus points,
please don't.
Who knows? This episode has been a bit chaotic.
Do you know what? I'd have gone into this and said Twin Peaks probably has had more cultural impact.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, Clarisse, go on. Well, you've got
Twin Peaks created prestige TV. Sopranos would absolutely not exist without Twin Peaks. You're going from like this period before Twin Peaks existed. You had sitcoms, you had like The Simpsons and Cheers, and you had the soap operas. You had Days of Our Lives, Dallas. Twin Peaks completely changed all of it by creating the kind of prestige television show that we have now today, where everyone's sitting down week by week wanting to find out what's the story, who killed Laura Palmer, like the water cooler discussions, the fan theories. And this was at the birth of the internet as well, so everyone was starting to go on the internet and discuss these things and try and figure out what's happening. Like this was the first, like I so disagree that Sopranos invented all of this. Like Sopranos invented the very modern version of what prestige TV looks like, but Twin Peaks invented prestige TV, period. Like there was nothing before, and then Twin Peaks came, and then all of the stuff came afterwards. And what I find interesting is that every showrunner of like every popular TV show has openly stated that they were influenced by Twin Peaks, including David Chase, who did The Sopranos, including Noah Hawley, who did Fargo, like the creators of The West Wing. Like everybody is always consistently citing Twin Peaks as like, this is where it all comes from, because simply the idea of a television show that is treated as cinema, as art, did not exist until Twin Peaks came along. And even the idea of having like big movie directors come in and make television shows, like obviously also did not exist until David Lynch did it. And now we have like everybody, like David Fincher and Martin Scorsese and Spike Lee, everyone's just making a TV show now. And just, like none of it happened until Twin Peaks happened. And now
that's very well argued.
Now everything that we have now, like, would just simply, I'm really like adamant about this, it would simply not exist if Twin Peaks hadn't just broken that barrier.
Help me out. Like, do you think between these two?
I'm just trying to think about my own sort of personal, the world that I live in, what people talk about more, and it's Twin Peaks, because I just think there is. I'm so sorry, Joe. So cross with me.
Oh, don't be sorry to Joe. He's won no matter what. It's just about this round.
I'm just interested to hear all of this now, because like I just feel like the universe I live in, Sopranos is it. This is why I'm just taking.
Well, that's really interesting because
I'm just learning.
I think that there is, we talk about like that sort of cult impact, and I think there is so much that is fantastic about Twin Peaks and so much that isn't. But I also love that we live in a world where we can have experimental television, even if I don't necessarily agree with it. I think for everything that Sopranos did, it's, I know what a great TV show it is without having watched it. I know that from everybody having said, it's great, but I don't know much more than that, right?
Because you need to watch it.
But with Twin Peaks, there was just so much discourse about every aspect of it. And I just think for any TV show that can prompt that kind of argument, that kind of conversation, and it's not all just like smooth sailing, yes, it's great, end of, that I think that is a more interesting thing, and I think that means that it's had more of a cultural impact on
also the
audiences.
Ending. The Sopranos ending is famous, but like you wouldn't have that open ending if it wasn't for Twin Peaks and How's Annie, the ending of season 2. Like that invented the idea of leaving it open and not knowing what happened to your main character. And they did that in season 1 as well. Like Dale Cooper gets shot and that's just the end of the season. So people were like, ugh. And it's kind of coming from soap operas, yes, where they did a lot of those cliffhangers. But I think to have sort of this creation in prestige TV, and to have this open ending. And then they did it again in season 3, and you thought they weren't going to do it because everyone was waiting for David Lynch to explain everything, and they're fools for thinking that.
Yeah, they are stupid.
And we got all the way to season 3, and we got, I won't quote it because that might actually be a massive spoiler, but you also got this like completely open-ended. So yeah, Sopranos did it once, Twin Peaks did it 3 times. So
I mean,
boom.
Sopranos never got cancelled, so